How do you know that your spouse will be a good business partner? You have to communicate well.
That's a big one.
That's a huge one. So like if you don't already communicate well
So if you're like, the way you show up for McDonald's is not the way I want you to show up for our business, then you both want to start a business. You write down, okay, what are your concerns about starting a business first? Attention couplepreneurs, newly married folks, or you've been married for 10, 50, 11 years, and 11 strong years, and now you're like, maybe we should start a business together. This podcast is going to be for you.
Welcome to another episode of the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making show, aka the M4 show. King, where can they tap in with us?
Y'all can tap in with us at www.them4show.com. Also tap in with us on Instagram at the M4 show. If you got topics that you want to see, hit us in the DMs. We appreciate you.
Now let's get into the episode.
If this is your first time tapping into the podcast, my name is Devon Travell, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game. And with me, I have my partner in life, business, the queen of logistics and operations herself. Talk to him.
What is up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd. And yes, happy to be joining you for a Ask Declare, basically, episode here.
It's an Ask Declare episode.
How do you know that your spouse will be a good business partner? Like,
That's
okay,
good.
yeah, we work like in our relationship, but how do I know we're going to be good like business partners? I feel like that's a good question. And one, it's hard to know before you get into it. But I would say, one, you need to like spending a lot of time together. Like, period. If you're one of those like, oh yeah, I love my husband, but like the 2 hours we spend at the end of the night is enough, don't even bother. Don't even bother, because you're going to spend a lot of time together. More time than you probably even think about now. Especially, again, if your plan is to both be employed by the business. At some point, like for us right now, I work in my office, he works in his office. We will convene here on the couch together, but like we're together pretty much 24/7 because we want to be, but also because we have to be.
Yes, but mind you, whenever I leave and I go out of town, she's like, oh, finally, Devon's gone. Because I ask a lot of questions. I talk a lot. And I asked her, I was like, Sinclair, give me your honest opinion. When I leave and I travel, are you just like a little bit relieved when I'm gone? And she was like, honestly, for the first day or two, yes, it's peaceful, it's quiet. I'm an introvert, so I can really self-charge. By day 3 or 4, then I'm like, oh, I miss Devon. I wish he would kind of come back home.
And I stand by that. I stand by it. I do. Like you said, I'm introverted, so I feel like it just gives me a nice time to just recharge. Like if I don't have to do a lot of extra talking. It's just like, this is nice. This is nice.
I like talking.
Yes, you do. And I like talking to you.
Thank you.
I also like recharging.
Understood.
And that's fine. It doesn't make me any less appreciative to talk to you.
Understood.
Okay. But yes, you have to like being around each other. I think you have to communicate well.
That's a big one.
That's a huge one. So like if you don't already communicate well in your romantic relationship, that's one thing I would improve there first, right? You have to have an open line of communication, because if you are scared to say something, if you don't feel comfortable, being able to say something without that coming into the relationship, it's also probably not going to work, right? If he can give me feedback about my business. If I didn't do something and I was supposed to do it, he can give me that feedback now without me feeling like I'm a bad wife, right? I may feel like a bad employee that day, but I'm not feeling like a bad wife. I don't feel like he's attacking me for being a bad wife. But you need to be able to separate that.
For sure.
If you cannot, then I think there's still some work to be done. So yeah, definitely communication. I know you're going to have something to add on to that.
Nothing to add to communication, right? I think you did that well. What I will add is you know how good or not good your partner is at being an employee. You hear their complaints about the work. You see when they're late. you know their habits inside of the workplace. So if you're like, the way you show up for McDonald's is not the way I want you to show up for our business, then starting a business might not be the right thing. Or they need to do a nice little boot camp and show within their 9-to-5 job that they can be an exemplary employee of the month. Then it's like, all right, if you can show these qualities in your 9-to-5, then we can start a business together. Right. And it's the same thing, like the Queen was saying, in your marriage. If within the marriage, if you ask, hey, Devon, can you take the trash out? And it's like, either I never do it, or I have an attitude when I do it, or I snap back and I'm like, well, you take out the trash. That's not going to be a good foundation for, hey, Devon, did you do that social media post? Hey, Devon, did you email the invoice to XYZ? Hey, Devon, did you? It's always going to be some type of task. So how your, not marriage couple, how your partner, how your spouse, there you go. Spouse is a good word. Thank you for sending that to me. I also just got a whiff of the Chinese food.
Didn't you? That came to you at the same time?
That same time?
Oh my God. I was like.
It's got that strong whiff of the Mongolian. Oh man, my nostrils cleared up for that. Oh, that's great. But again, you see how your spouse is in the marriage. They're most likely going to carry that into business, or sometimes it can get exacerbated, right? It can get amplified a little bit in a business context because now it's public. So now they're not only worried about how you see them, they're worried about how their family sees them, how their parents see them, siblings, and now people may act a little bit different or heightened based on that public-facing image, right? So take your time. Don't 100% jump into it, and ask yourselves these questions, right? And I think it's good to maybe have a couples retreat, have a weekend where you both want to start a business. You write down, okay, what are your concerns about starting a business first? Like, what are you scared of about me being a partner? What are you scared of about you being a partner? How much money do we have financially to invest in this business? Go through all these checks. And at the end of that retreat, if y'all are both feeling good, if y'all are both feeling comfortable and confident, then go ahead and start getting the paperwork ready, start that brand, and go through the 7 steps to launch your business. Okay?
Welcome back to another episode of the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making Show, aka the M4 Show. King, where can they go to tap in with us?
Make sure y'all head to the website www.the4show.com. Also tap in with us on IG, on the gram at the M4 Show. And of course, make sure y'all listen to this podcast and share it with a friend that you want to see win.
Now let's get into the
show.